many people were taught how to walk? Somebody came to you and said, okay, to walk, you know, as a 6-month-old, 8-month-old baby or 1-year-old, somebody gave you some lectures. How many people here? You got a lecture on how to walk. Wow, surprise, nobody. That is how learning is. Nobody, it's a natural phenomenon. It's something that occurs naturally. But what happens in school? Too often we teach students what to think, not how to think. And that's the problem that we have. That's why we have problems in our school, because we are teaching our children what to think. So I don't know how many of us got that message. It was a WhatsApp message, and this child was asked to write 5 words or 3 words. I don't remember exactly. So the teacher said, write 5 words or write 3 words. All right? So the child writes, write. The second word, 3. And the final word, words. And then the teacher just marked everything. Bad, 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 bad. 0/3. And I looked at it and I thought, but this child, do you think that child was wrong? Like, I just thought this is unfair to the, company of children everywhere who are learning. Like, I should carry a placard to all the teachers who do that. And because this child is just smart. And I bet you the teacher did not acknowledge that smartness. In the sense that, okay, this is too easy. Can we move on to something else? Say, write 3 words. You have given me 3 words to write. Okay, I write it down for you. Next. So as a teacher, that should get you to think, oh, I'm not giving out my instructions correctly and something needs to change. From my end, not from this end of the children. So a lot of times we are telling children what to think. We're not teaching them how to think, and that is the problem. Now, what does learning mean to you? In 1.5 minutes, we're going to just quickly do this activity. So please bring out your phone, all right, with internet, and just open a browser and go to www.menti.com. Just log in, and then you answer this question for me. www.menti.com. All right. Please type it in, okay? We've got the first one, fun. Learning is fun, and I'll tell you something about fun. So some time ago, I was teaching this child at home. The parents brought him for me to teach. He was struggling in some areas, and we were doing more than teaching. And remember our topic, acquiring new knowledge, building, interactive, communicative. So we're having this, and then after some time, the child stopped coming. And I thought, why did this child stop coming? I reached out to the parents. How is this child doing? He's doing well. I see the child remembers my birthday, sends me a message, and all of that. And then sometime after that, I heard the most shocking thing. And that is something that is probably applicable to a lot of us. So I heard that the child was no more coming because he was too eager to come to me. And the mom felt that he must be playing in Mrs. Eta's house. My child generally doesn't like anybody teaching him. So for him to be this eager, he must be playing. Now I want you to understand that learning is designed to be fun. It is designed to be inspirational. And I could see this, we went beyond English when he was coming. We went beyond English to exploring his interest, and he made the most amazing short videos. So here is it from all of you. It's educative, it's communicative, it's growth. You see all the things that stand out, it's exploring. But you see, that fun is just there, meaning that a lot of you think that learning should be fun. So you can continue sending what you think about learning, but we have to proceed. Okay, so as a learner, you want to ask yourself, why am I learning? So this, okay, like some of the things that also came out from my research about learning, about active learning. And what is that? Is you need to, as young people, you need to be a lifelong learner. I tell my teachers, I said, the day I stop learning, I'm going to stop teaching. I'm going to stop working in education. That is lifelong learning. That's curiosity, interest, self-initiated. The reason why a lot of parents are struggling, a lot of children are struggling, and a lot of children will struggle more because the parents respond to the problem of struggling by giving them a lot more things to struggle about. So a child is not doing well in mathematics, what happens? They get lesson teacher for you. Is not doing well in English, more lesson teachers. Not coping in science, more lesson teachers. So they keep adding to that. But you see that learning needs to be self-initiated. It needs to be something that you're interested in. And how do we get to that? Okay, so we are basically talking about teaching and coaching. What's the difference? Remember our topic. It focuses on acquisition. We're just going to run through these slides. Teaching focuses on refining and developing knowledge. Okay, teaching focuses on placing ownership and responsibility on the teacher. And that's why you have some schools, a student will come to a teacher and say, I'm going to fail for you. Because the student knows that if I fail, you get into trouble. The school will sack you, so I'm going to fail for you. But coaching places responsibility on both parties and then just opens the pathway for communication. And so what exactly is coaching? Now this is John Whitmore's definition. He says coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance, and it is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. That's all you do. As a coach, that's just your work. You're helping a young person, you're helping another person, even as a parent, you're helping your child to learn. Okay, that's simply your job. You're not teaching them. Because teaching, you have strings of information that you're passing along, and guess what? That's why after you have taught and taught and taught, you get frustrated because you've been teaching this child, still doesn't know it. Why? Something is wrong. So here's the idea, that at the base of life, to give you solid foundation in life, you need coaching. You need to understand how to learn. And that's what coaching simply is. Not what to learn. We don't have a problem knowing what to learn. It is how to learn it. It is training. And then learning comes. And then knowledge, development. And voila, everybody sees success. And wow, you are a star. And so that's what happens. See, forget all those things about, I'm here to teach, I'm going to be very, very strict. My students don't need to like me. They don't like you, they won't learn. They need to like you. It's natural, it's normal. You need to learn to talk less and what? Sorry, I need to hear that. We need to talk less and what? Why? It seems so counterintuitive. Because as a teacher, we are almost like labeled as talkatives. You must be talking from morning to... No. We need to learn to talk less and listen more. Why? Because like that child that chose write 3 words and submitted, I can bet you that the teacher didn't say, why did you choose these words? They didn't have any conversation. But that needs to happen. You need to actually find out what this, okay, when you gave me this answer, what were you thinking of? You need to challenge the status quo. You need to also ask yourself, when I give this kind of answer, why did I do that? And we need to learn to ask open-ended questions. Do you understand? Yes. And that's the end of class. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And guess what? No understanding took place. I was shocked because some time ago I decided, you know what, let me do a research on students' understanding. And so I chose a relatively very simple topic, subject and verb agreement. When the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. When the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. So I taught it. We had a fantastic time. I explained all the rules. And then I asked my students, so do you understand this? And they said, yes. Okay, let's do some work. And we're getting 5/10, 6/10. Okay, so we understood this, what is going on? And so we need to ask more open-ended questions. We need to ask questions like, okay, why would you use this verb to agree with this subject? Why do you do that? Why does it make sense? Okay, so finally, here's what every teacher must do, and here's what every child must realize. That you can learn, and that you will learn. But most children learn if they think the information is useful. So one time a child came to me and said, Mrs. Etta, why do we do all these subjects? Why? All these subjects that we are doing, I don't even X minus Y equals, what is that? So children are struggling with mathematics because they think this information is completely unnecessary. You know, when I tell my children are serious maths gurus, so they don't understand that I failed maths. And they still did not understand that after I failed maths, I had a rethink. And I thought, this is not a big deal. And I got my sister to teach me. And so sometimes when they are trying to figure out some things, I say, is it not this? And they're like, Mommy, how do you know that? Because they know my paper, I have F9 in maths. There is something, I mean, okay. So that learning is a mindset thing. And once you can, as a young person here, if you're struggling in any aspect of your academics or any form of learning, and you settle it in your mind, I can do this thing. Nobody taught me how to walk. I walked. I got up and tried. Get up and try. And the more you try, the better you get, and you become an expert. And the next thing is that we must realize that every child can learn. There's no child that is not able to learn. There's no child like that. Okay? And you need to also realize that every child wants to learn. The problem is that every child learns differently. So speak to that as a teacher, discover the way that this child learns. And realize that every child opens up to learning when they know and believe that you believe in them. And finally, if you are a teacher, if you are a parent, if you are someone who is working with young children, you must sell the subject that you teach, because it is not by accident that as old as Coke is, they are still advertising. And so let's do the best that we can and be intentional about our learning so that success will definitely come. Thank you very much.